Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario. Tonight, we'll preview the exciting matchups of the Filipinas at the World Cup, but first, we've got inside stories from the heart of volleyball.
Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Well, the race to the PVL Invitational Conference semis is heating up, firing on all cylinders. So, it is time for another batch of courtside stories from a PVL insider here, Jaime Ascalon, making his debut.
On
in
the game.
Studio.
Welcome.
In the studio.
Jaime.
In the studio
Right.
for sure. Jaime, nice seeing you again. This
Nice to be here.
This guy was my roommate in the Southeast Asian Games. I'm telling you right now.
I kind of sense the connection.
Well, there's a connection. I'm gonna tell national TV right now. This guy snores with me. And Jaime, let's go focus on the PVL for the meantime. It's right now. Currently, Chocomucho is playing in the semis in a do or die against Signal HT. It's not going well for them at the moment, down 2-0. But we were talking off there. You feel with someone like CC Rondina, they'll always have a shot.
Yeah, well, Pao, the first game of Chocomucho, I was there to cover them, and I had to talk to Coach Dante Alonsunuri. And sabi ni Coach Dante, you know, the vibe just changed with CC in there.
Yeah.
And it came to the point na I asked sina Madi, the other Chocomucho players, did you have to be acquainted? Wala nang pakilala daw. CC Krinos na nila lahat.
Right.
So parang ang tagal na nila magkakilala. So I think the last time we checked, Chocomucho's down 2-0. You know, with a player like CC, the game's definitely not over yet kasi that's the spirit that she brings. She'll always uplift her teammates.
And I think I saw that post-game interview. You did that with CC, and did you feel that energy also from CC that you know I'm not a new face here. I just I'm reintroducing myself here in the PVL.
Yeah, she even mentioned that she feels like she was a rookie. So she had that sense of energy coming in. This is CC Rondina 2.0. But if you ask her kung na-miss niya yung indoor, sabi niya, sa totoo lang, na-miss ko na yung beach volleyball ngayon pa lang. So napo-FOMO na siya doon.
Well, we do miss her as much as we miss her in the beach. We always love her here indoor. Now, we're actually showing highlights a while ago of that Chocomucho F2 game, and that brings me to an F2 player in particular, Ivy Laxina, who has changed positions this conference. She has played outside hitter in the past, but we all know her as a high-level middle blocker. What do you have to say about seeing that up close, her being an outside hitter, and of course, adjusting towards it?
Yeah, well, with Ivy, the first game of F2 naman, I was also there.
Yeah.
And she was the player of the game right away. And I think she had like around 12 points that game. And then I asked her, wow, sanay na sanay ah. Sabi niya, Jaime, alam mo ba, parang 2 weeks lang yata yung preparation. Parang hindi halata.
Yeah.
That's the trust na Coach Reg had on Ivy. And now they won today against Photon. They're on top of their pool standings. And a big part of it is really Ivy really embracing the role, I would say.
I mean, the trust of the coaches and of course the talent of Ivy. I mean, it's not a joke trying to change positions. Imagine maybe me trying to play center in basketball. That's going to be super tough. But that's never going to happen. So let's move on to the next report here. Jaime, we talked about the connection of CC with her teammates earlier, but let's talk about a different kind of connection between Gretchen Sotones and Janelle Cheng.
Well, that is one of the probably my favorite stories being a PVL courtside reporter this season. They have such a great connection. Gretchen's top in the points category. And I asked her, can you talk about more of your off-court? I asked them, your off-court relationship with Janelle.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, alam mo, di kami close eh. And I thought she was joking. And she was serious. She was serious that they weren't close. But with their chemistry, with their camaraderie in the court, they really have that special connection. You don't have to be close pala outside the court to have that special connection.
Yeah, having that on-court chemistry compared to off-court chemistry, it doesn't necessarily translate. I'm sure,
especially in the pros.
I'm sure Jegos had a best friend off the court na kapag nag-basketball, wala talaga.
And the other way around too. Na hindi kami close, but sometimes great connection on the court. So
yeah, and speaking of connections and all of that, we have to focus on PLDT as well because you also had a close look at the dynamic duo in that team.
Yeah, Mitch Morente and Kat Arado, memorable. Their energy is memorable. they have the game, next game, a do or die game, a very important game,
Yep.
and he just bring the energy to every game. So this do or die game, Mitch Morente, Catharado, they'll bring it to you. My favorite story, I asked one question. I forgot the question. I asked one question. They answered mga 10 minutes.
Wow.
With one question. And in my head, I was like, you're making my job really easy, ah.
or really hard kung may time limit ka like we have here.
Exactly.
But,
And with this dynamic duo, I'm just really curious because in any sport, you need guys and like girls players like these who just up the energy, whether that's in practice or in games. Nakita mo ba like what kind of like energy, what do they do specifically to uplift all the teammates and all that?
According to the other players in Ame and Mendres, they are the loudest in practice.
Right.
There has not been one quiet practice. I guarantee you that because
that's
of Mitch
very
Morente and
important.
Catharado.
I can only imagine that right now. I can hear Mitch Morente's voice now that you say that. Jaime, I really appreciate you being here. I know it's your first time being in studio, but please
an honor,
come back. Oh,
Please come back, please.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
mean,
of course, roommates din kayo. So yeah.
Not too soon then. Don't come back too soon. Maraming salamat, Jaime. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So on that note, these PVL players may already be at the highest level in local volleyball, but a lot of them are still fans of the sport and its players. So if you're curious to know the thoughts of these PVL personalities, let's take a look at this.
Hi! Hi! Oh my God, you're here, Jack! How are you? Hey! Uy! Hi! Hindi ko pala! Oh, you're here pala! My PVL OG idol is Kim Fajardo.
Abi Maranyo. O, di ba?
My OG PVL idol would be Aiza Maizo. As a fellow mom, I'm so impressed na high level pa rin ng kanyang performance and sana ako din.
OG PVL idol. Siyempre, Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Siyempre, bata pa ako, nakita ko na siya. Very timeless yung paglalaro niya. Until now, she's still able to keep up with the younger generation. And very smart maglaro. And kitang-kita talaga yung experience and pagiging veteran niya inside the court.
Giving away a free ball. And Aiza Maizo Pontillas really. Cheng to Aiza Maizo Pontillas, and no surprise there. Aiza Maizo Pontillas once again.
The superstar that I'm also excited about is to see more of Mars Alba. I know ang ganda nung last stint nila with their collegiate team, and I know they're a great help right now for F2.
Excited to see. I think I would say Ea Laure, definitely, because I've seen her in her collegiate career. I've played against her in my last playing year, and I just really love her intensity and just her being a leader inside the court.
Ako breakout star ko, siguro mas ang daming superstars ngayon eh. Siguro yung favorite ko is Ea. Wait, sino ba? Nalilito ako lagi sa Ea. Nalilito ako, sorry, sa Ea Laure. Makikita mo talaga yung power ng spikes niya. And she's also the leader of the group. You can say na kahit a rookie siya sa PVL, makita mo how she leads ng team niya.
Nabago Ea Laure. Kasi every time she plays, she proved na hindi lang siya pang rookie, kundi pang professional talaga.
Semi-finals bet? That's so hard. But of course, Creamline, kasi andun yung chemistry and everything. But Chocomucho also is showing so much promise. From last conference, coming into this conference, kitang-kita talaga yung improvement nila.
Sa semifinals, I'm looking forward to the invited international teams. Pero syempre in the local teams, I think lahat lahat capable of being in the finals. Kasi ngayon, every game counts. Hindi mo alam kung sino mananalo and matatalo. Everyone is pushing through and doing their best. So I'm just really excited what's gonna be the outcome for the semifinals.
Of course, Terry Tigo and F2, Creamline, and Petrogas. Oh, Chocomucho! I don't know!
kami, cream line, semifinals. And kahit sino mga kalaban namin, ready kami. Nagtitraining ba naman kami everyday, di ba? So, see you there, semis!
And after the break, we'll talk about what lies ahead for the Filipinas in their historic debut in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
something. It's part of the tournament, and just having that amount of spectators with all these wonderful stadiums and all the support that FIFA's given and all the attention that's going to be on them. So it's a different pressure, but I think knowing our girls, they're very humble, and I think they're going to handle the pressure very well. So they are ready to step up to the challenge. I'm pretty sure about that.
Belay, si Coach Allen made a point in his previous press releases that he wants his team to peak at the right time, peak coming into the very first game. How's that process been like? What does that entail, actually, if you're a fan who's curious to see how our girls are doing?
Yeah, when you're a coach, you always plan the cycles, whatever sport it is, of when the types of training you have. Just obviously, the human body can only take so much physically, so the coaches have planned so much in advance about how each girl will be looked at individually and how they can best prepare with all of our staff. Shout out lang to even our strength and conditioning staff and our assistant strength and conditioning coach. It's actually her birthday today, Coach Red Sahonia. They do an excellent job of looking out for each girl and having a proper program for each of them. So peaking will be different for each player, obviously, but as a team, I think that we're really set to peak at the right time. They're really raring to go.
Belay, we've talked about your mental struggles as a team, the physical struggles as a team, the emotional one for sure. It's there. But how did it feel seeing everywhere you went, there was always a Philippine contingent there to greet you, literally serenade you at one point? How does it feel knowing that kung saan man kayo sa mundo, there is that Filipino community making you feel at home?
Siyempre nakakaiyak. Parang sobrang yung pride of everyone on the team that they were able to bring these people together. They have these people supporting them, whether they know them or not. Ngayon nga nakikilala na sila kahit sa airport na sobrang daming lumalapit sa kanila. Just the sheer amount of pride that they are bringing to their country, to their fellow countrymen, and to their families. Nanginginig na nga yung boses ko na sobrang emotional talaga yung journey na to in terms of having that flag everywhere. And when you see the FIFA social media and the FIFA Women's World Cup, just having the faces of the girls there, it just nakaka-proud lang talaga to see how far they've come.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the sport, through sport, we have the power to change lives, inspire people. And in terms of inspiration, how huge is this feat, qualifying for the World Cup? And then, for all the footballers, young footballers that are going to be watching, how important is this for them to, get inspired by this performance by our Filipinas?
Well, I'm sure you've all seen already the video announcement that was for the girls for the announcement of the 23. And I think that just really embodies it, that there's the young girls looking up to them and seeing that it can be done. No matter where you come from, no matter your background, you have they're just making their own shirts there with their names. They now have names to look up to aspire to be. And I think that's what was lacking before. Young girls didn't have any Filipinas to look up to say that we can be on the world stage too. But now they're seeing all the names of these girls there with the Philippine flag on their jersey and say that I can be there too one day.
Belay, a lot of people have looked at our team and understood that a lot of, or most if not all the players, did come from different parts of the world, all coming together, representing the blood of their mom, the blood of their dad. You take a look at the fact that they're now building more and more of a connection with the Philippine people, with the Philippine public in general. You being there, seeing it close, how do you see that changing the girls for the better going into the World Cup and adding more weight to that flag that they're going to be wearing?
Yeah, I think that was always there. Their connection was always there because a lot of them do it for that, for the pride of the motherland, of their dads, their moms, their lolos, their nanays, their tatays, that's what they call them. It was always there. It just gets amplified, of course, when they just see the all-out support of these these Filipino communities who weren't even football fans before and are now coming out to support a Philippine football team just because it's, they're Filipino. So I think that just warms the hearts of the girls, and any little bit of support every time they see people waving the flag and coming out for them, I think it just warms their heart and just makes them so happy and so proud.
I'm having goosebumps right now just listening to that, Pao.
Bella, I wish we had a camera just stuck on your face when the national anthem rings out, because I am sure it's going to be an emotional moment for everyone. But I really appreciate you. Hope to talk to you again soon. Enjoy New Zealand, and hopefully we have a lot more good things to talk about in the upcoming World Cup.
Thank you, Belay.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Filipino football fans and all sports fans in general, we've got good news. Signal is giving sports fans an opportunity to watch the Filipinas make history in the biggest women's sporting event in the world. In a statement, MediaQuest Holdings Incorporated and Signal TV President and CEO Jane Jimenez Basas says, quote, "We recognize the demand Filipinos have for this quadrennial event, and we at Signal TV always want to be able to bring the best experience to all our viewers." End of quote. All matches of the Philippines women's national football team will air live and for free on One Sports and the Filipinas Live app. Download the app now on Google Play or the App Store. After the break, we'll check out the latest from the Gilas boys at the FIBA Under-16 Asian Championship. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to The Game. As the Gilas girls arrive back home from their championship win, the boys are off to a great start at the Southeast Asian Basketball Association qualifiers. The Philippines dominated their first of 3 games in the elimination stage with a 94-52 victory over Malaysia. Kiefer Alas and Iris Chua led the way in the scoring department with a combined 43 points between them. The Gilas boys will next face Thailand in their second game of the single round-robin tournament. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
And I'm Paulo De Rosario. This has been The Game.